Hey, everybody.
Hey, welcome back to another episode
of I thought we were going to say it at the same time. Never mind.
Of
Spoiler Alert. There we go.
Wow. Okay, we didn't work that one out. But anyway, we're so glad you're here today, and today we're going to be talking all about episode 5 of Marvel's What If. And it was What If Zombies?
What if zombies? Yeah.
No, you have to say it like...
Oh, sorry.
What if zombies?
What if zombies?
It was like exclamation point, question mark.
And there was an ellipses.
Zombies?
It was like, what if ... Zombies?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's funny. To me, the title of the episode seemed very fan service-y.
Honestly, yes.
If you didn't know that there was a kind of comic tie-in to this kind of zombie idea, this episode just seemed like a wacky, off-the-wall, like, what if there was this crazy variable thrown in and we saw it play out? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I remember when we first saw this, when it was a trailer, I was thinking to myself, where is this coming from? Where this is like, what if they were all in South America? Like,
No.
what if they were all blind? Like, it just seems like a weird, like, thought experiment. You know what I mean?
I suppose.
Like, what if they were zombies? Like, it just seems like so interesting.
But there's a full tie-in. And it makes absolute sense. It does make sense. It's coming from the quantum realm. A quantum virus, which I guess can be a thing.
Yeah, well, remember in the Suicide Squad, that same actor, the Polka Dot Man, had a virus, like an interdimensional virus. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Different cinematic universe, but one could reason it's along the same lines.
Sure.
But yeah, very interesting, especially because also the TVA is rumored to be in the quantum realm. So
I don't know if I buy that personally.
Is that too much of a stretch for you?
Yeah, I don't know, but it has to exist somewhere, I guess. It has to exist somehow, somewhere.
It exists outside of time.
And
isn't the quantum realm outside of time?
Is it? Is that? I guess yes.
Yeah, because
it has to be.
It is.
I thought it was like inside of time, but like so small, like molecular small.
Well, because that's how they travel through time in Endgame, is through the quantum realm.
Oh yes.
It's also how Scott Lang is able to survive the snap, because he was stuck there in the quantum realm.
Right.
So.
I'll never forget that scene when I saw it for the first time. When he's like, hello, and you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? He's stuck. And speaking of Scott Lang, boy, was it just such a treat.
To see a talking head Scott Lang.
Yes, with all his funny one-liners. I mean, the tone of this episode was all the tones. It was scary. It was sad. It was dramatic.
Isn't it
It was
interesting
suspenseful, and it was funny.
Spider-Man has like a Spider-Man sense of humor, like a Spider-Man tone. And it was, because those movies are produced, in conjunction with Sony.
Right.
So they have an MCU feel to them, but they do kind of have their own little special flavor.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite as clear as it was when we had that Sony Marvel flavor in an episode that also had regular MCU tone to it.
Well, what I really liked was the moment that we saw his zombie preparedness video that he made that reminds you of is it Far From Home? Spider-Man Far From Home?
Yeah, where he makes the video, where he makes his little vlog, travel vlog.
Yeah, so it's so funny.
Happy shirt.
Oh my gosh, happy shirt. Well, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm making that shirt right now. And I did. And it's available.
It's on our website.
You can buy it. You can buy the shirt that says, I'm not single. I'm saving myself for Thor. You can buy that shirt. And
it's so funny because I wonder if they put that in on purpose, because remember we were talking the other day, where is Thor? Like I'm assuming he's getting an episode because he was in the trailers.
Well,
somewhat.
So we saw him briefly in the serial killer episode. But did he even have a line?
I don't know. I don't think he had a line.
I don't think he did. I mean, he was there and then he died.
He was there and he died, and there have been trailers that have shown him in some degree. So, maybe he's getting an episode, but he's been weirdly, like, not a part of any of these other episodes.
So, you know, Nick, another thing is that here in at Disneyland, well, we're not here at Disneyland, but, you know, in our neck of the woods at the park, Avengers Campus, right? In California Adventure. I haven't seen Thor there. I haven't seen Thor as a meet and greet character.
And to me, he
or
would
even
be...
Thor merch. But I feel like back when they had some meet and greet characters show up over kind of in the temporary Avengers area that was previously like by the backlot by Monsters Inc.
Yes,
wasn't he one of them?
He was, because he was there with Loki.
There was Loki, there was Thor, there was Cap, there was, you know, and now they still have the Spider-Man area right there, even though...
Oh, yes, they do.
I don't think he goes there anymore for meet and greets because he has his own area in Avengers Campus.
Yes, because he has his own
and they
passion.
have like a photo up for Falcon and the Winter Soldier that's still there.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think anybody's... like any characters show up there, but Thor, it's like
Thor.
It makes me wonder. Happened. This is what I wonder. And this is complete speculation. I guess maybe I could do my research on this, but my hypothesis is that maybe Chris Hemsworth has some kind of like likeness clause where to use his likeness as Thor.
Maybe they had it for some time, but then it ran out or something.
Or maybe it's just expensive to do.
Or, maybe it's expensive to do.
More expensive to do him than other characters. I don't know.
I know.
Who knows?
I know that,
but it just seems weird to me.
Everything is negotiable. So even though an actor played a character in a movie and they don't own the rights to that character... when their kind of look is synonymous with that character, a case can be made and certain people can negotiate rights so that character and their likeness kind of are a package deal. I know that in some of the work that I do professionally, there have been some interesting rights around the Mary Poppins film because Julie Andrews was able to negotiate, or her people, I don't know when this was locked in, but as it stands now, Mary Poppins' likeness is essentially Julie Andrews' likeness, and there's no way to leverage that character without also kind of engaging royalties with Julie Andrews because she has negotiated... She created
that character the way that it is.
She has negotiated them like kind of one and the same. So maybe the Hemsworth, people have successfully kind of done that where Thor as a comic book character is not really something that is being...
if there was a meet and greet character
without him,
there was a meet and greet character in the park, it'd be like that person is trying to look like Chris Hemsworth as Thor, not trying to look like Thor, as a character without Chris Hemsworth.
And likeness rights is such a messy bog of
But again,
money.
I'm not saying that's what happened, but if I had to guess at why maybe we're not seeing so much Thor.
Lines.
That could be it. That could be a big part of it.
The merch is interesting too, though, because now that you mention it, I have not seen any merch. Not that there's a lot of merchandise locations there in Adventures Campus,
right.
But I have not seen a lot of merch for him. That's interesting.
And he was not a zombie. He was not a zombie. But now I'm trying to think of where was Thor?
In that timeline, he would have been...
Where is he in the timeline? So we know that it takes place right after Ant-Man and the Wasp and right around the time when Bruce...
Civil War, right? Thor was not in Civil War.
Not Civil War.
It was because remember...
when Bruce falls into the sanctum and he's like, they're coming... Isn't this... It's not Endgame. Is it?
No.
It's not Endgame. It's Infinity War.
Infinity War, but we had it... but the thing is, at that point, we had Cap... because Cap shaved his beard, in the timeline, he would have, split off already and kind of done his own deal and grown his facial hair out. So the fact that we saw them for a brief moment with his facial hair shaved and the shield back in his hands means that they, had Civil War, and then the zombie stuff might have like brought them back together. So this was after Civil War because Ant-Man was there.
After Ant-Man and the Wasp, because that's part of the story.
After Ant-Man and the Wasp, so like after Civil War.
It picks up right at the beginning of Infinity War.
Yes, so at that point, Captain America would have been doing his own deal, not part of the Avengers.
But what about Thor? I'm talking about Thor. I can't remember.
I can't remember right now either. That's okay.
Where's Ragnarok taking place in all this?
That was maybe that was during Ragnarok. No, because the Hulk was in Thor Ragnarok.
I know. And then when the Hulk comes back?
Yeah.
Is that at the end of Ragnarok?
Maybe.
Somebody let us know, because now we're getting all confused.
Yeah, if you're not staring at a chart of the timeline
right?
when you're talking about the timeline, we're not. We're here at Avengers
Yeah, I guess
Campus.
this is us just asking the open-ended question, where is Thor lately?
In general.
Where is he? What's
remember
happening?
That Comic-Con video of, like, where was Thor during Civil War? And it was, like, him in Australia getting, like, a normal human roommate. Remember that?
No.
You don't remember that?
I don't think so.
Remember, he was like him just like getting a roommate and like sitting on his roommate's like day job, and he's like just being Thor. You remember that?
Sounds so funny.
Yeah.
They played it at Comic-Con?
It was it was the first time it aired was there at Comic-Con. It's like a Where Was Thor During Civil War.
Amazing.
And he like. You don't remember that?
I don't remember it.
And then like that's the first time we saw anything about the Infinity Stones, because he had like this like push pin and like yarn chart of like figuring out who Thanos was.
Ooh.
And there was a little Easter egg of like the stones, and that was the first time we ever saw something about the Infinity Stones, was in that little Comic-Con video. Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, I'm gonna have to look that up.
It was funny because then at the end of the video he's talking to Bruce Banner, just as Bruce Banner, and there's like a line where like Bruce Banner is like, I don't like, he's like, I always wake up in cutoffs. I didn't turn into the Hulk in cutoffs. And then he's like, where do they come from? It was really good.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's so tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I think if like I'll show it to you after this, but I think if you just go on YouTube and look like where was Thor during Civil War, that was like the name of the video.
Oh my gosh, amazing! I miss Comic-Con. Can't wait to go back.
I hope it comes back next year. I don't think the virtual was.
No.
It wasn't any good. It was. No. I mean, it was. There's like a.
It's just not the same.
There's like this kinetic energy to like everybody moving around in the booths, and like you're looking everywhere, and there's just like it's kind of like when you're at Disneyland, and like there's just movement everywhere. So there's just you feel like there's just this energy to everything, and it's spread out over a city. So it's almost like a city. It's like,
and you want to see other people. You want to see all the people, how they're dressed, and you know.
Hey, remember that time that we went to that party and you couldn't say hi to Draco Malfoy?
How dare you bring this up on our podcast? Oh my gosh. No. Yes. Well,
he was sitting at the bar.
Oh my gosh.
He just had nobody to talk to him. And I was like, Jené, just go talk to him. And she's like, I can't. I couldn't.
It was Tom Felton.
I shouldn't.
It was Tom Felton.
And he was, and it was like not at a fan thing.
I got starstruck. Okay. I know it was a Comic-Con after party. Everybody was on the same kind of level at this
not
party.
Open to the public.
Right. We were specially invited, and it was awesome, and I had a great time, and I was very
Tom Felton was just
starstruck.
Chilling at the bar, minding his own business.
Look, you don't know you're going to get that way until you're in that situation. Like, sitting here with you now, I think I'd be very chill and be like, oh my gosh, you're Tom Felton.
Spoiler alert, she wasn't.
I wasn't chill at all. No chill. No chill. Oh my gosh. I think I'm blushing right now that you just told everybody this embarrassing story about me.
It was so funny. We were like around all these like big people, and we were like, oh, the executive producer of this and that and this and that. We were just like, oh, what a fun, interesting place where we're meeting all these fun, interesting people. And then, like, of all these people, Tom Felton is, like, at the bar and nobody is talking to him. It's like, hey, Jené, isn't that guy? And she's like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's the guy. And I'm like, I'm like, look, go talk to him. He's not like at a fan thing. He's just gonna be chill. You just talk to him. Like, I can't talk to him. I can't talk to him.
I couldn't.
He sat at the bar for probably like 15 minutes with nobody talking to him. And then I think by the time he worked up enough courage, he left.
Yes.
He just left.
Yes.
And funny enough, that the same Comic-Con, we then went to a Harry Potter party.
We did.
That was open to the public, and it was a mess.
It was, I mean, I think back to that now, pre-COVID times, and how packed full of people that was. I'm like horrified. Why did I do that? It was fun, though. It was fun, but it was certainly crazy. Yeah, that was a sci-fi party.
It was a sci-fi party. Yeah. And the theme and the execution was great. There was just way too many people.
Way too many people.
It was because they had a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
But it probably needed 1/10 of the people allowed inside to actually be able to do anything.
It was a lot of waiting in lines.
While in a crowd. So, like, where's the line? We
did get free shirts. They were super cool.
We got free shirts. We got to take a photo where we had, like, wands and we were doing a magic thing. There were some hors d'oeuvres passed around.
Comic-Con.
There was a human toy crane thing, remember? Where they, like, strapped you into a thing and then they dropped you into a bucket of, like, merch and stuff and then whatever you could pick up. It was...
You know, we went to New York Comic-Con that same year too, and we went to a special after party in New York too. But it wasn't the same.
It was sponsored by Johnny Walker. They had just come out with White Walker for Game of Thrones, and it was a White Walker party. So the bar only served White Walker
cocktails with it. Yeah,
or just neat. Spoiler alert. It's not very good.
No, and that party wasn't like yes, a couple celebrities showed up, but it was nobody that we really cared about.
The guy from Gym Class Heroes showed up.
He was
as
DJing.
The DJ.
Yeah.
And then we found out he wasn't actually DJing.
The food was whatever. The scene was whatever. It just wasn't the same vibe as like San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, San Diego Comic-Con people were proud to be like very.
But I did like the con in New York. I liked being there. I liked the Javits Center.
It's just a different vibe.
Totally different.
People interpret and interact with comic book superhero stuff in a very different way.
Oh, for sure.
So,
and we've been also to WonderCon as well. And that's a different vibe too. That one's much smaller.
Much smaller. It almost felt like the one where they have all the YouTubers.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of people that kind of bled over into that.
Right. But we got to go to a lot more panels with WonderCon because like there was just you didn't have to do the thing at regular Comic-Con where you wait and maybe don't even get in the room. So that part was good.
Yeah.
We just we've just gone off here talking about cons now, and now I'm really missing it.
I know.
But whatever the next one is, we'll be there. Is it going to be D23?
No, hopefully San Diego Comic-Con is... Well, New York Comic-Con is on for this year in October.
It still is?
It still is. But, you know...
Then I take that back. We will not be there.
We will not be there. But then San Diego will be like in June, July next year, tentatively.
I hope we'll be there.
And then D23 Expo will be sometime later in the year. Usually it's towards the end of the year. They haven't announced dates yet.
Right.
But... yes, we will hopefully be there for that. And I know that, I think the year after is going to be 100 years of the Walt Disney Company. So there should be some kind of
99 stuff.
Or like leading in, like remember the 60th?
Started like a year early. Yeah.
The 60th anniversary, the Diamond Celebration at Disneyland was like 2 years long.
It was like 2 years long. You're right.
I remember that. I remember we still have bags in this house that have the Diamond Celebration on it because it lasted so long.
It did, you're right. Well, I guess, man, we really talked about cons for a long time, but that felt good to do. And hopefully you guys enjoyed that too, thinking back to the cons. But
did you also, one last thing about this episode of What If, did you also think that when they went to Camp Lehigh that there would be like a Hydra Zola reveal? That he would be the point? Because when they said Camp Lehigh, I'm like,
I just thought Captain America. I just thought Captain America, and I was like, how is Cap gonna tie into this Camp Lehigh? We saw the sad moment where Bucky had to kill him, and that was awful. And I just thought, like, what are we gonna see? What's gonna be happening here? Well, but I imagined some kind of zombie camp, I guess, situation.
When they said it, my thought was this is the Zola robot-y thing that we saw.
That was a good guess. That was a good hypothesis.
I was not going to guess Vision.
Me either. That was... And then I was like, oh, it's Vision. Oh, cool. And then Scott Lang's there, and then there's like this fun vibe, and you're like, oh, these are all like the kind of lesser characters that have all come together.
Yep.
And I like this feeling, and that they're working. But I did not foresee... Like, even when they kind of showed that there was, like, a zombie back there, and, like, you know, T'Challa's like, we gotta run. I still, at that point, did not know it was gonna be Wanda. I didn't know until Vision was like, yes, my whatever, or something. I don't know, whoever says, it's like, you've got your zombie bride, or something. And then I was like, oh, what? Crazy. I did not expect that. But then it's like, it was sad. It was heartbreaking. It was like WandaVision again. Because it was like, it showed you that they are not just in love, they're crazy in love. Emphasis on the crazy. Like, hypnotize a town of people or feed your friends to them to keep them alive. It's nuts. And then you get that moment where they're leaving, and then he's like, looks like we're clear and we're out of here or something. And then Peter's like, don't you guys watch horror movies? Don't say that. Yeah. And then like the jet engines fail, and you're like, no. There were so many. Oh man, I was on the edge of my seat. And then the ending. I mean, whoa. Oh, I thought they were going to be in the clear. I thought they were getting to Wakanda. They were going to find this
This
cure.
is now like a couple episodes where they've ended it without a resolve.
Yeah.
And
they just end it bad.
Ended. And I wonder if that is just a thematic choice that we're getting to not try to wrap it up in a bow, or if they're leaving it open because maybe we might be revisiting these what-ifs
I mean, let's just look at these last 2 episodes as an example.
Because these what-ifs are, like, essentially different, like, timelines in the multiverse.
Yes. And when I think about these branches of the main timeline, Nexus events, if you think about Nexus events, these are kind of all Nexus events. And so, like, looking at this episode, maybe we can assume they land there, Thanos gets that last stone, and then snaps everybody dead, and that's the end of that timeline. That was the big Nexus event. And we know the Nexus event of the last episode was Doctor Strange. Wanting to save Christine. And so are these just the ends of these timelines? Are these all Nexus events?
I'm curious if season 2 of Loki is with the timeline spurring off into whateverness.
There has to be at least a minor reference in season 2 of Loki.
What if these what-ifs are basically all those timelines springing at every different point, and we're now seeing all these variations that before were not allowed to happen?
Yeah.
And we then continue this kind of what-if story with the ending of all these beginnings in season 2 of Loki. And that's part of his deal, like jumping around to basically, we never got the end of all these episodes because we're going to get the end in Loki as a live action version.
Oh boy.
That would be insane. So cool. All that to say, I'm ready for season 2 of Loki.
I'm so ready.
I'm ready for season 3 of The Mandalorian. I'm just ready for like those like good, those like e-ticket shows where you're like, ooh. Like, What If is great, but it's not an e-ticket show. Like, Loki was...
I don't know, I'm really... well, yes, I get what you mean, but I am loving it far more than I thought I would, and I'm loving every episode more and more and more and more and more.
But it's like... To me, it's like a C-ticket.
You know what I love about it is that I can tell that the creators are just having so much fun with this show.
Yeah.
They're just like, they're throwing in the Easter eggs. They're linking things back that are just inside jokes. More things than we can even cover here on our podcast. There's so many levels to this. They're having way too much fun with it. And I appreciate that. The happy shirt that said, I'm not single, I'm saving myself for Thor. I mean, that was such a moment. And that's why I had to make that shirt. I had to. Please go buy that shirt. If you thought that was funny, get the shirt. I've got it in a couple different shades of gray.
Take a photo of yourself.
Oh, yes, please.
Looking like happy.
Please. Holding the sign or whatever. I think he was holding a sign.
Oh, you know what would be the best? If somebody took a photo of that in Avengers Campus with the web slingers.
The little
slinger
hand
one that
thing.
looks like
the Iron Man glove.
So that to really finish off your happy.
I'm begging you.
I'm begging
you. We would adore that. That would be fabulous.
That'd be amazing.
Oh my goodness. Well, last thing I want to say, and this podcast is called Spoiler Alert, so obviously you're going to expect spoilers. So here comes the part where I'm going to talk about Shang-Chi, because I saw this movie, and I'm not going to go crazy heavy into spoilers on this one, because the thing is, it's not on Disney Plus, so I know some of you desperately still want to see it and haven't had the chance yet, or you are not going to go to a movie theater, and I completely understand. So like, if that's you and you really don't want to hear a single thing about it until you see it, then thanks so much for listening. But if you want to hear a little bit about my takeaways without me really spoiling anything too major, then listen on for about 2 more minutes. Han
Solo dies. So there, I said it.
You said it.
I said it.
Oh my gosh. No, I really loved it. Nick did not see it. I just went by myself to go see it in theaters, and I'm really glad that I did. I thought it was even better than I expected. I liked that it was kind of like a standalone movie.
Kind of like some of the earlier origin movies that we got.
Yes.
Like Thor was a very standalone
movie. It kind of reminded me almost of Black Panther, too, where I love Black Panther, and I love that it's a movie that, like, if you aren't really into the MCU as much, but you see that and you can still follow it along completely. And this is one of those movies, too, where if you know, you're going to pick out these references to things like, Iron Man and Doctor Strange and stuff like that, and you're like, oh my gosh, I get it. But even if you don't remember those movies or something, and you go see this, you're still gonna love it, and you're still gonna have a good time watching it. The story was beautiful, the costumes are beautiful, the choreography, like the fight choreography,
I've heard
insanely
it's very good.
Just captivatingly good. And the jokes that are in it were really funny. Even though I was sitting in the theater by myself, I still laughed out loud. And I was like, oh, I guess, I don't know, that's okay. I'll just do it anyway, because it was funny. Awkwafina's so funny. I love her. I just really love her. And she did a great job. Everybody did a great job in this movie. I want to see it again. I'm really into it. And I was impressed. And I'm excited to see more of him in the future.
Yeah. Fun fact, did you know that the main actor used to do stock photo photography before he was in Kim's Convenience, before he was in Shang-Chi?
He did, like, stock photos?
Yes, if you look online at the name of that
actor. What do you mean,
actor,
like a model?
Yeah, he was a stock photo model. So like a stock photography of, like, business people looking at computers, people in meeting, like, he did that. So if you look up his name,
you know who else did that? I think what's his name from Star Wars? Finn.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I remember seeing that, like, it was like a picture of him as, like, a college student or something.
Oh my gosh.
Like a stock photo that colleges use. It was something like that.
Jené.
What?
You need to make a Star Wars shirt and a Marvel shirt that have the stock photo of them.
Oh my gosh, those would be horribly ugly.
That's the point. That'd be so
That's kind of wild. I'll think about that. Yeah, I'll have to find those pictures.
It's a good one. But yeah, if you haven't seen that, that's a fun Easter egg.
That's really fun. Well, anyway, I think that about does it this time. I can't wait to see what the next episode is next week. I don't know, but I'm excited. And you know that we will be here talking about it for you guys. So thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week. Bye.
Bye.